Welcome to my YouTube channel Safety Guidelines. I am Fahim Azam. The topic for this video is very interesting and informative. It is very special as it is related to mountain trekking. Let's move on. Please do watch it thoroughly until the end to get benefits of this video. An overview: how to stay safe when mountain trekking. Between the valleys, plateaus, and mountain peaks in summer or winter, there is a lot to enjoy. However, the serenity, beauty, and views come with safety considerations too. After all, Mother Nature is unpredictable at times, so make sure you are ready for everything when mountain trekking. Plan your trip. We recommend that you start with simple and not so demanding mountain trails. While you might be tempted to go on some significant hikes right off the bat, probably because your friends are doing so, you should not give in to the temptation. As a beginner, you should know your limits and be okay with them. There is no need to fast forward yourself to expert trails. After all, you don't want it to be your last mountain trek. Once you pick a mountain trail that you feel is great for you, below are some of the essential things that you should plan for before you set off. Duration: how long will the trek be? Many reviewers often provide these details, so this information should not be so hard to find. Knowing the duration of the mountain trail will help you to determine the things that you should pack. And being a beginner, your trail may not require you to pack a tent. Most beginners' trails are day trips. Companions: we recommend that you have a trekking companion. If you don't have a friend who is into mountain trekking, don't worry, as you can always hire a trekking guide to keep you company and assist you through the trail. And if you are worried that hiring a trekking guide will be expensive, think about your safety and the uninhabited and worry free fun you will have. Budget: stick to a strict budget. Although mountains are public land, you are still expected to pay entry fees. The fees you pay varies from one mountain to another. As such, you should first check the official mountain trail websites for the expense before heading out. You should also prepare for the transport costs, environmental fees, tourism fees, guide fees, and other charges that might pop up during the journey. Weather: as you plan for your trekking, check on the weather news. Doing so will allow you to know which clothes to wear and any additional equipment you should carry. If the weather forecast is terrible, then you should postpone the trek altogether. Terrain: check on the terrain to know beforehand if you will be trekking on inclined steps, through thick forests, in between rivers, or rocky ground. Familiarize yourself with the details of the trail. Will the trail be snowy, sandy, grassy, rocky, or muddy? Once you have these details, prepare your mind to tackle it. Number two, bring the right gear. The equipment you carry will depend on the length of your hike, the terrain, weather, and your budget. If you don't see mountain trekking as something you would do in the long term, you should not get expensive equipment or get professional outfits. Just get outfits that are comfortable, lightweight, and versatile. Number 3, dress appropriately and bring layers. Every time you step outdoors, you should remember to bring layers. You can think of the layers as a new age tracking thermostat. Layering has been tried and tested over the years. Professionals believe that it's comfortable even when the weather changes up on you. All you need to do is slip off or on a layer depending on whether it gets hotter or colder. How should you layer? Easy. There are three layers you should be aware of. Base layer. This wicks the sweat off your skin. Middle layer. This one retains body heat and protects you from cold weather. Outer layer. This layer shields you from the rain and the wind. Even if you don't wear all these layers, it's always a great idea to have them with your with you depending on what the weather forecast is. This way you are always ready for anything. Number 4, adapt to circumstances. It's super important that you learn to be flexible during the planning phase and when on the mountain. If you wake up on the D day and the weather is not as you expected, or for some reason you are not in the best physical and mental shape, choose a shorter and easier route or postpone the trek altogether. Additionally, if the weather takes a turn for the worst during the trek or you feel like you are struggling, turn back. There is no shame in it. You will live to fight another day. Number 5, bring water and don't forget to drink. Excessive heat or sun means that your number one challenge throughout the trek will be dehydration. And yes, this applies when you are trekking during the winter season. Expert trekkers and hikers advise that you don't drink water from rivers unless the point you choose to fetch your water is close to the source. But in the event you do drink water from the river, choose a spot that water is flowing fast. Natural springs with clear waters are usually safe. The other option is to carry your own water. But whatever you choose, the point is that you should remain hydrated throughout the trek. Water will help keep you cool and give you the strength to carry on. Number 6, protect your head from the sun. Sunburns and sunstrokes are potential risks. And believe it or not, many trekkers suffer from the two often. And here is the worst part, they affect trekkers in summer and winter as well. How is it this possible? Well, you know that the higher you go, the colder it becomes, right? The same is true for the sun. The higher you go, the stronger it becomes. For this reason, you should protect your head and face from the sun. You can pack a hat or sunscreen. Anything will protect your skin from the harmful UV sun rays. You need to apply it on your face and body in intervals throughout the trek. Know your route. We cannot dispute the fact that exploring new trails and mountains is exciting. However, the new territory comes considerable uncertainty. which can end in disaster. Before you head out for the mountains, gather some information regarding the region. Look out for information on wild animals in the area and what you are expected to do if you come across them. Poisonous plants in the area. In regards to this, think of oaks, poison ivy, and sumac. But note that different regions have different flora, hunting seasons, and areas in the mountains. Any hiking alerts around the time of your trekking. Luckily, this information is always available on the official mountain trekking sites. Expert hikers and trekkers also share relevant and vital information about the areas they have experienced. Subscribe now. Quote: the great thing about YouTube is there are no gatekeepers. No one is waiting to tell you if you are good enough. So it is just audience. Please subscribe my channel. Let's continue. Number 8. Get your backpack ready. The first thing we have to mention is that you should not burden yourself with a heavy backpack. You are just starting out and you need to build your momentum. Your trail may be a couple of hours long, but it might feel like days if you carry a heavy and bulky backpack. When you are packing items in your backpack, you should not mind leaving some things behind. Pack only the essentials, including clean water, snacks, extra clothing, smartphone, and a first aid kit. Number 9. Always tell someone about your plans and where you are going. It's vital that you tag a friend along or hire a guide. The friend you bring should be more experienced in mountain trekking than you are. Also, tell a loved one that you are going mountain trekking. Share all information concerning the trek, including the location, the length, how long it's expected to take, your starting point, your end point, and any other spots you will stop at during the trek. When sharing the estimated trekking times, remember to factor in some time at the peak or vantage points where you will stop to take in the view and relax. Doing so will let your loved one know when things are taking too long and if something might have gone wrong. Then they can alert the authorities and know exactly where the start where to start the search for your rescue. Number 10. Start hiking early so you don't end up in the dark. During the planning phase, you must have factored in the length of the trail and the number of hours it will take you to complete it. Since you are a beginner, you should add 2 more hours to be recommended trekking hours since your pace will be a little slower, not unless you are confident in your fitness levels and are sure you can hack it in the recommended time. Say, for instance, your trail needs 5 hours. You should make sure that you hit the road from 8 am to ensure you hike when it is still day. Also, you don't want to the midday sun to get you. The only exception for this is if you are going to get the view of the sunset from the trail. And even then, you should plan your time adequately so that darkness does not engulf you while still on the trail. If this happens, you could easily get lost. Number 11. Bring your first aid kit, including a Heat blanket. It's crucial that you carry a first aid kit, but even more important, you should know how to use the contents of the equipment. Getting pre assembled first aid kit makes it easier and takes the guesswork out of piecing you together. However, many trackers love personalizing them to suit their needs. But even then, all packs should include adhesive bandages, treatments for blisters. These are pretty common. Adhesive tape, gauze pads, and disinfecting ointment, pen, paper, gloves, and OTC painkillers. The length of the track and the number of people will dictate how many of each item you pack in the kit. In addition to the above items, you should always have a heat blanket. Heat blankets come in handy when you unexpectedly have to spend the night outside if you get injured and you need to stay warm. A heating blanket could be the one item that decides whether you live or die. Take care of nature is number 12. Part of the reason why trekking is great is the raw nature experience it offers. While there is management bodies formed to protect and keep the trails clean, it's your responsibility as a trekker to leave the trail better than you found it. This means that you should not leave anything on the trails that were not there. Carry your trash away with you and pick up any trash you might come across on the trail. The cleaner and more natural it is, the more you can enjoy the trail and the views. Also, leave your axe and saw at home and only light campfire on designated spots. Number 13. Turn around if necessary. There is no shame in turning back. Below are some factors to help you decide whether you should turn back or not. How much daylight is left? How much water or food do you have left? Do you have the right gear with you to continue with the next phase of the trek? In case the trail gets very steep or rocky, do your chances of getting an injured increase when you proceed? Are you experiencing ever a severe altitude sickness? Although turning back is never a popular decision, we guarantee that it's not a bad one either. Let's summarize today's topic. Mountain trekking is fun. If you have never experienced it before, you are in for a real treat. However, to ensure that things don't go north, you should adhere to the above safety tips. The mountains can be harsh and ruthless, so it's upon you to take safety measures. When you go trekking and come back safely, be sure to share your story with the world to encourage a trekking and hiking lifestyle. Let people know what they are missing out on. Thank you for watching my video. Do remember to subscribe my channel. Press the bell icon to receive notification regarding my further informative video clips. Like, comment and share my videos to encourage me and my team. Have a good time. See you in the next clip. Till then, goodbye.